There's always one in the class that follows the directions. If you notice that, it's just great. Our next speaker is George Cuprak, who is the Director of Facilities Management for Westchester University. It is no secret to any of us that Westchester University is the largest single entity in the borough, has an enormous amount of employees, and thousands of spaces. I can't even imagine the job you have there. So I'm looking forward to your remarks.
Good afternoon, and I have actually two names. I like to go by Greg, so in the future...
You like to call you George? Sorry.
For some reason I end up with two names at this meeting, but that's great. Either one I'll try to answer to. Westchester University, yeah, we're big. We have 14,000 students. We have 1,200 staff, and that's about 15,000 people. Advantage is that a large part of these people live either on campus or near campus. We have close to 5,000 students that live on campus. Probably think we have about another 4,000 who live within walking distance. But that still leaves 6,000 people like me who lives in Delaware who have to get here and get to work. And so we are a consumer of transportation, and transportation is important to us. Two, our campus is pretty widespread, and we need the help from Krapf to get us from South Campus to North Campus, and we move about 4,000 people a day between those two campuses with $500,000 and a lot of buses from Krapf to make that happen. And the advantage is that reduces some of the private vehicles on our streets, which we also try to do. Let's see here. I'm off my script, so now I gotta go find out how to get back on my script here. We also have carpool. We try to sponsor carpools, but currently gas is down cheap. When gas was up around $4, we had a lot of people knocking on the doors. Can we carpool? Can we carpool? Gas is back down to $2.60, and you don't hear those requesting carpool. But there are some people who come in from Phoenixville and stuff. I know I have workers who work for me, and they do carpool. And when I tell them that, hey, can you work late? I tend to get the answer, no, my carpool is at 3. So we do have a number of people who do carpool. Something that we can try to work on more. We have 150 people a day who take the SEPTA 104 bus in from Philly. That's a good thing. We do have some people who can't afford a car, and taking that transportation in every day is important to them. But it's a long trip. It's a long trip for them, and I think we lose potential employees just because to get from Philly to Westchester is tough. Not easy at all. We have parking spaces. Yes, I just said we have 6,000 people who somehow commute either daily or when they need to be on campus. We have just under 5,000 parking spaces on campus spread throughout the 400 acres that we have. On any particular day, on the average day, let me reword it, we have probably about 500 open spaces, but are they where you want to be at since we are spread over quite a distance? That's always a question. Let's see here. Let's talk about things we're doing. I guess the last thing is buildings, renovations, how are we going to impact traffic? We just completed 2 new residence halls, so that's done. That construction on Rosedale, and I just put a pipe across Rosedale, didn't I? That kind of interrupted traffic last Christmas. That type of work is done, but we are taking down 2 buildings. We're trying to come in and off new streets so to minimize the impact on the traffic. When those Ramsey Halls, Sanderson Halls come down, one thing we want to construct, and we're in conversation right now with the borough on building a new student recreation center. So we will we're entering conversations with them. With that also goes, what parking needs to go along with that, and that's all part of the conversation we have with any building that we either build, and I think we even have those conversations when we renovate. Typically when we renovate, we want to expand it a little bit, so that triggers parking discussions to make sure we have the parking we need so people can get to that building and not clog up the roads elsewhere. Let's see, what other things did I not say? Women's Soccer Pro thing. Unfortunately, I didn't prep on that one, so I remember reading a little bit about it, and I can't remember how many times they're going to do it. I heard that they're going to do it when we're not the stadium. It's going to be down at Farrell Stadium, which is actually split between east. You know, we're spread over 4 townships, so that's between East West Goshen and East Bradford, I think. But it does clog up New Street when we do have games. They're expecting a fairly good crowd, I think. Our stadium can hold 12,000. I think they're expecting 6,000, 7,000, 8,000 people there when they do that. It will be on weekends. It will be on weekends. We don't have something else booked at the stadium, which we don't all the time. It's in the spring. I'm trying to remember off my memory. I thought I heard 10 to 12 games or something like that. And I think that's all I have. Thank you.